Hello everyone, welcome back to your channel Safety with Pom, and I hope you are doing great. Today training is about ISO 45001 2018 exam preparation, how to prepare for the exam and how you can easily pass your examination. So in this training I will discuss with you the whole paper, how the ISO 45000 2000 paper will come and how you should answer, and I will give you the details information each and everything for every topic, and you will get your exam pass very easy way. Okay, so if you are new in this channel, please do not forget to subscribe my channel and like the videos, and please do share with your friends circles or colleagues also. So let's start our training ISO 45001 2018 exam preparation, how to prepare for the exam. First of all, let's see how the questions will be there, how many questions will be there, how many sections will be there, and how much marks will be there, and what is the minimum marks that you have to get for each section to pass the exam. Okay, there will be 4 sections, section 1, 2, 3 and 4. In section 1 you will get number of questions, 5 questions will be there, and each question will be 2 marks. So in that way you will get 10 marks. The whole marks will be 10, the full marks. After that you have to get minimum 5 marks to pass this section. Then we have the section 2. In this section 2 you have 4 questions. 4 questions you have to pass this section. You have to get at least 10 marks. Okay, and maximum marks are 20. So you can see here, so each question is 5 marks. So you have to get at least 10 marks to pass this section. Then we have the section number 3. In this section number 3 you will get 3 questions, and each question will be 10 marks. So the full marks will be 30, and minimum marks you have to get 15 marks. Okay. After that we have the section number 4. In the section number 4 also you will get 3 questions, and 3 question, each of the question will be 10 marks and minimum 15 marks you have to get it. So the full marks will be 30, but minimum you have to get at least 15 marks. So the whole exam you will get 15 questions total, and the 15 questions, the full marks will be 90. Out of 90 you have to get at least 63 to pass the exam. Okay, so this is the full scenario and the section and the question breakup, how you will get the question and how many marks you will get for each question, and how many marks at least you have to get to pass the section and pass the exam. Okay, so this is the way the questions will come and you will get the marks. Okay, now section 1 contains 5 questions and each carries 2 marks, as I inform you. Okay, and minimum passing score on section 1 would be 5 marks out of 10 you have to get. As I said, section 2 there are 4 questions and each question will be 5 marks. Minimum passing score on section 2 would be 10 out of 20 marks. Section 3, as you know that there will be 3 questions and 10 marks for each. Minimum passing score will be 15 and the full marks will be 30. Section 4, same, 3 questions, each carries 10 marks. Okay, and the minimum passing score is 15 marks and the full marks will be 30. So you have to get 15 marks out of 30 marks. Okay, now some very important information about the exam. During the exam you will get a clean copy of ISO 45001 and a bilingual dictionary are the only items permitted for reference that you can use. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you will get the ISO 45001 2018 standard copy, okay, with you. During the training also your training center they will provide you. Okay, so the condition is you should not write or you should not mark anything on that ISO 45001 2018 sheet. Okay, after that That ISO 45001 2018 copy you can refer during the exam for the clauses and certain other definitions, and the other references are there that you can use it. Okay, sorry. Action verb meaning. During the exam, in your questions, there will be some action verb. You have to understand what is the meaning of that action verb and what the examiner they are trying to ask you. Okay, that is very, very important. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you. They are asking something else, but you don't understand that thing and you will answer something else. So that's not going to work. So let's understand what is the meaning of those action verbs. Okay, the first we have describe. If the word describe is there in any questions, you have to deposit in words. Okay, in words you have to write down. Explain means you have to give a clear account of that particular thing that the examiner is asking about. After that, outline, give the most important features of less depth than explain. Okay, or if the question is asking to outline a certain thing, so you have to give a little bit detailed information about that question. Then we have the describe. In the describe, give. Then we have the give. Provide without explanation. Use normally with the instruction to give an example of. Okay, when the question say give, then you have to give something example. You don't need to elaborate. You don't need to explain very well. Okay, you just have to give some words. Identify, then you have to select and name. You have to select something. Let's say that question will ask you identify the clause that talk about legal requirements. Then you have to identify the clause number this, and after that you have to put the name of that clause. Okay, then the define means provide a generally recognized or accepted definition. Then if the question is asking define, then that is asking about the definition. State, a less demanding form of define, or where there is no generally recognized recognized definition. Then prepare. If the question is asking about prepare something, then you have to maybe prepare some checklist, maybe you have to prepare some document. So that are the thing that you have to mention. Okay, so these are the action verbs that you have to understand very well. Okay, I hope you understood now, and in this way you have to use these action verbs during the exam. Now section 1, let's move forward to the questions, how the questions will come and how you have to answer. Okay, section 1, 5 questions as I inform you, and each question will be 2 marks. So you will get total 10 marks for this section. So the question number 1.1, it's saying that ISO 45001 requires that internal audits are objective and impartial. Describe the difference between objectivity and impartiality in this context. Okay. Now, what is the main thing? What is the main words in this question? That is the trick that you have to apply during the exam. The whole questions, there is only few important words that you have to identify, and you have to answer the questions that you have to understand first. So let's identify which are those words. Okay, it's required that internal audits are objective and impartial. Describe the difference. So we have to describe. Okay, describe what? We have to describe the difference between whom? Between objectivity and impartiality. Okay, so these are the 4 main words that you have to concentrate and you have to answer your question. Okay, now you know that describe meaning you have to elaborate. Okay, you have to give a little bit in a detailed information. Okay, now you have to give the difference between objectivity and impartiality. During training, as you know that your trainer, they will provide you the information about the audit objectivity and impartiality. ISO 19011, it is the standard that will describe about the audit, how the audit should be. It should be objective, okay, and impartial. So it is there mentioned already in ISO 19011. As you know that I have already provided you the training about the ISO 45001 2018. If you haven't gone through go through that training, please go to the channel, and there I have provided ISO 45001 2018 lead auditor training, and in that one, in the last part, I have discussed about the ISO 19011, okay, which is described about the how the audit should be, how you will select the audit team, okay, how you prepare the audit plan, and how you will conduct the audit, how you will opening meeting, do the opening meeting or closing meeting. All these things will be there, okay. I have explained in a very detailed way, okay. So in that one, it is asking the difference between the objectivity and impartiality, okay. So let's see that how we have to answer. Our answer, the first one is objectivity. Objectivity meaning, what is the objectivity? Objectivity means any audit that you are conducting, that audit should have objectives, okay. Without objective, you can't conduct any audit, okay. So in this way, you have to answer this question. Internal audit should be objective and impartial, in which objective refers to the term, okay. What is the meaning of objective? Objective refers to the term which states to determine what needs to be audited exactly, okay. Objective, what needs to be audited, and exactly, in order to simplify, stick to the basic scope or purpose of that audit. That is the objective of the audit, okay. The objective of the audit, what needs to be audited, okay. Audit has one circle, okay, one, what you call, one boundary. You should not go beyond that boundary, which is not under your scope, objective, okay, and you should conduct the audit within that boundary. So that is the objectivity, and you have to simply stick to the audit plan and the scope of the audit. So that is the meaning of audit objective. Then we have the impartiality. Impartiality means you should not show any partiality during the training. Maybe during the training you find one of your old colleague and you know him very well, and some of the auditor, what they will do, then they will do the partiality. Some of the department, they will do the audit thoroughly, some of the department, they will not do the audit thoroughly, and little bit audit or little bit things they will find out, and some of the department, they will find out so many things. So that's called the partiality. So audit should be impartial, okay, and impartiality refers that auditors need to be fair and unbiased in all scenarios while performing internal audits of their organizations, okay. So they should not show any partiality. They should, when they are conducting any internal audit, some of the department, they will they're like a very good department, they have good relationship with them, they will not do that much in a very good way, but some of the department, they will go in a detailed way. That's called the impartiality. So this is the way we have to answer our question for the first question 1.1. So this is the difference between the impartiality and objectivity. I hope you understood, and in this way we have to answer. Now question number 1.2, it's saying that explain the likely consequences of undiplomatic behavior by an auditor. What is the meaning of that? Explain the likely consequences of undiplomatic behavior. So what is the main word here? The main word here, you can see here, undiplomatic behavior by an auditor and the consequences. So let's see that how we have to answer this question. First of all, undiplomatic behavior of an auditor might result in offending the individuals, result in absence of professional environment, or the individuals might start to hiding the exact information that you need, okay. Maybe some of the department you will go there and you are your behavior is undiplomatic, like you are talking in that way, that like a police, okay. Maybe you want to catch them and you want to hold them as accountable for something, okay. You want to make them accountable for something, some of the things they haven't done. So what they will do, they will try to hide the things, they will not give the correct information, they will speak less, okay. They will not give the answer correct way. So that's called the undiplomatic behavior. So what will happen? What is the consequences for these things? The consequences for these things will be you will not get the correct answer, you will not get the full information, and you will not get the full picture of that particular thing scenarios. Okay, due to which employer complete scope of audit might be left unattended. So your audit won't be that successful and effective. So in this way you have to answer your second question. Now question number 3, it's saying that give 4 examples of evidence which demonstrate that an organization is managing its occupational health and safety legal responsibilities in conformance with ISO 45001. So it's asking about 4 examples you have to give. Okay, give means you just have to name it and explain. You don't need to explain in that way, you just have to name it. Okay, which demonstrate that organization is managing its OHS legal requirements or responsibility with ISO 45000. Okay, these are the main words the question is asking. Okay, so these are the 4 examples I have given you. But first of all, during the exam, which clause you will refer? If you remember that where we have discussed about the legal requirements we have discussed in ISO 45001 clause number 6.1.3. okay, you have to refer that clause. In that clause we have mentioned that, and we have discussed that how company should manage the legal requirements. Okay, so any legal requirements you will find in clause number 6.1.3. so you should thoroughly understood and you should thoroughly remember that where you have to go to refer that clause. Okay, because during the exam you will get less time, and if you will find out, keep turning the pages, but you won't find that where is that clause where we have discussed about the legal requirements. So you have to understood that, and you have to keep in your mind that where you have to go exactly. Okay, so we have to refer clause number 6.1.3. there we have discussed about the legal requirements. So how legal things can be identified? Only by evidence you can ask, you can identify. Okay, so if you will go and say that are we managing legal requirements which is stated in ISO 45001, auditor will say yes, we are managing. So finish. But you are not asking that how we are managing, show some evidence, show some documents. So you have to identify those questions and how you have to get the evidences. So the audit is purely based on evidence. Okay, without evidence there is no audit. So how you will get the 4 crucial information? First of all, company should identify legal requirements applicable on them as a documented information. Legal requirements should be mentioned in the documented information. Where you will get it? Maybe HSE plan. HSE plan, they have mentioned the legal requirements. One example. Second one, organization should also identify that those legal requirements are applicable on them. Okay, so what all the legal requirements are not applicable to all the companies. Some of the legal requirements applicable to some companies, but those legal requirements are not applicable to other company. So company should identify which are the legal requirements applicable to them only. Okay, third one, legal requirements communicated top to bottom. Legal requirements are communicated to the staff or not? Yes, then show the evidence. Then get the evidence of like training record, TBT record, okay, training certificates, those are the things. Fourth one, organization have included the legal requirements in the OHS policy. Occupational health and safety policy, if you will see that one, any company policy, they will mention that company will follow all the legal requirements which is stated by this government or the ILO or the international legal requirements. Okay, so these are the things they will mention. After that, one more thing you can ask about the legal register. Maybe company have the legal register, you can ask the legal register where they will mention all the legal requirements. Objective and targets, maybe the company have the objective and targets. In those objective and targets they may have mentioned the legal requirements also. Okay, so in this way you can get the examples. Okay, and in this way you have to answer your question. I hope you understood. Now the question number 4, it's asking identify 2 ways in which an auditor can verify that agreed corrective actions have been effectively implemented. Okay, so you have to identify 2 ways in which an auditor can verify that agreed corrective action. You have to verify verify corrective actions, okay, have been effectively implemented. How you will verify that the corrective action? Maybe you have done the audit previously, maybe the next time when you will go, you have to verify that whether the corrective action has been implemented effectively or not. So how you will verify that one? So let's see. So by conducting follow-up audit, you can conduct an follow-up audit or surveillance audit of that organization, and you can go to particular area, or you can go to you can check the particular documents. So that is the one way. Second way, by comprising results of pre-audit activity and post-audit of that clauses, same clauses. Okay, maybe before the audit that clause, okay, and after the audit the both report you can compare. So by comparing you will get the result. By visiting the area physically, you can visit that area physically. Maybe during the audit you raise the non-conformity that the area noise level is very high. Maybe noise level is 90 dB during the audit. Now visit the same area again and check the noise level. Maybe now the noise level is less than 85 or 80 or 70. They have did something. Okay, they have done something. Okay, by interviewing the staff, you can interview the staff also. You can ask the information about this staff also. During the during the audit, maybe you have raised one point that staff are not competent. So staff are not competent. So you suggested that staff should attend the training, verify the training certificate and interview with the staff. So in this way you can identify and you can verify that corrective action whether has been implemented or not. Okay. Now we have the question number 1.5. It's saying that identify whether each of the 4 statements below is true or false by circling the correct letter. So true or false also you will get it also. Okay. Now this task I am giving to you. Okay. Now what you have to do? You have to read one of the question here carefully, and you have to refer your ISO 45001 standard. If you don't have that standard, you can comment me and I'll provide you. Okay. And if you are getting some doubt here in this question, just write the comment in the comment section and I'll clear those doubts also. Okay. So this task is for you. Now let's move to the section number 2. In this section you will get 4 questions, and each question will be 5 marks. Now the question number 1 is saying that list 6 responsibilities of the lead auditor when conducting an external audit. Now these things you will not get in any ISO 45001 2018 standard copy. So it's asking the lead auditor responsibility, 6 responsibilities of lead auditor, okay, during the audit, conducting any external audit. So what you will do, where you can find the lead auditor responsibilities. Lead auditor responsibilities you can find only in ISO 19011 2018. Okay. If you don't know about that, just go to ISO 45000 2018 part 4 video that I have uploaded in my channel. In that one I have described all those things. Okay. And during the training also you may get also these ISO 19001 2018 copy also. So you have to remember those roles and responsibilities also, because during the training you can't use 19011 standard copy, because you will use only ISO 45001 2018 standard copy only. Okay, 19011 you are not allowed to use during the exam. Okay, So let's see that how we have to answer this question. So lead auditor roles and responsibility. He should chair the opening and closing meeting of the audit program. It is the responsibility of the lead auditor that he should conduct a opening and closing meeting. None of the any other auditor team, they are allowed to do the opening or closing meeting. Only the lead auditor are allowed to do the opening and closing meeting. Second thing, assign them roles and brief the team according with audit scope and objective. It is the lead auditor responsibility that he should divide the work between the team, and he has to manage the team, and they have to he or she, they have to give the audit work or scope and the objective of the audits. They have to make them understand. After that, report appropriate NCRs to the auditee organization. It is the lead auditor responsibility that after finishing the audit, lead auditor will inform the auditee about the NCRs and other report and the audit report. 4. Review the documents of organization. It is the roles and it is the responsibility of lead auditor that he or she should review the documents of the audit team before starting any audit. He should prepare the audit plan before conducting the audit. Lead auditor should prepare an audit plan before conducting any audit, and that plan should be communicated with all the audit team members. The sixth one, he or she should prepare and submit the audit report. It is the lead auditor responsibility that to prepare the audit report and submit the audit report to the client. So these are the 6 responsibilities of lead auditor. There are more responsibilities of lead auditor. As I said that, please go back to ISO 45001 2018, my video where I have referred 19011 standard, and I have explained all these things in a very detailed way. Now question number B. Okay, that was a question for the 3 marks. This one is for the 2 marks. Okay, so an auditor conducting a third-party audit finds a critical safety hazard which hasn't been addressed in the occupational health and safety management system. State how the auditor should respond. So an auditor conducting a third-party audit. So you are auditor, you are conducting a third-party audit. Okay, and during the audit, you find a critical safety hazard, and this critical safety hazard, it was not addressed in the occupational health and safety management system of the company. Now you have to state that how the auditor, as an auditor, you will respond this scenario. Now answer, auditor should be as an auditor, you should take evidence of that critical safety hazard. You have to get the evidence first of all of that critical safety hazard that has not been addressed in company's occupational health and safety management system, and you have to write down that one also. And during the closing meeting, you can raise that issue to the company, okay, management, and will raise an NCR. You have to raise that as an NCR of it accordingly. Okay, this is the way you have to solve that scenario. First of all, you have to write it down. You have to note it down. What is the non-conformance? What is the issue that you have to note it down? Okay, and that issue should be communicated to the management during the closing meeting, and you have to raise as a NCR. So in this way you have to answer. Question number 2.2, you are the audit team leader conducting an occupational health and safety management system stage 1 audit. Okay, you are the audit team leader, okay, lead auditor, and you are conducting a stage 1 certification audit on the site by yourself in an organization. At the initial meeting, you are presented with a luxury leather laptop case containing the company's occupational health and safety manual and procedures documents. The occupational health and safety management system manager indicates that the case is a gift for you to use during the audit and retain afterwards. Okay. Okay. So this type of question you will get each and every exam. Okay, in any ISO lead auditor exam is there, you will get this type of question. Why this type of question will be there? This type of question will check as an auditor how you will respond, whether you will take the gift which is like offered by the auditee, or you will reject the gift. If you will reject, how you will reject. If you will accept, why you will accept. Okay, so it's a complete scenario that will give the clear idea about the auditor, how the auditor responding that question. Okay, now the question is asking that describe how you would respond this situation, 5 marks question. Okay, you are conducting an audit, you are a lead auditor. During the opening, after the opening meeting, you are presented with a luxury leather laptop case, and in that case there was a company's occupational health and safety management system manual and procedures were there, and the company manager is saying that after the audit, that case you can use it for yourself. So that is a gift for you from the company side. So how you will respond it? So let's see that. First of all, you have to thank you to the presenter. If you will directly say no, what will happen? Maybe the auditee, they will get offended, they will get angry, and they will feel that you are not you are not respecting them, you are not respecting their emotions or their beliefs. Okay, so first of all, you have to thank you them, and you will not accept as a gift as it will be like professionally not acceptable. As a lead auditor, you are not allowed to accept any gift during the audit, as because it is not professionally good. What will happen if you will accept a gift? Auditee will start to expect some favor from your side. They will expect that, and sometime they will say that I gave you this gift and you are not avoiding this scenario. Please avoid this scenario, we will correct it, and somehow they will try to manipulate you. Okay, so first of all, thank you them and tell them that sorry, I cannot accept it as a company policy, and as per our company policy, we are not allowed to take any gift. Okay, after that, being an auditor, we should maintain our professional behavior throughout the audit procedure and will not accept any gifts presented by the auditee in order to get influenced or that might have impact on our audit strategy, and we won't be able to get the best outcome of the audit. So you have to tell the auditee in that way that by not accepting that gift, you are doing some good thing for them. Okay, you have to like answer in a very diplomatic way. See, if you can say that, see, if I will accept this gift, what will happen? I will try to give you some, like, I will think that I accept the gift, I will not raise that issue, and I will not audit that area. So I will not do my best if I will accept this gift. So there will be some compromise, audit will be compromised also, and audit won't be effective in that way. So in this way also you can answer. So in a very diplomatic way, you have to answer this question. Okay, first of all, thank you. You cannot accept this one as per company policy, and our company policy is not allowed us to take any gift. Okay, that is the two things you have to put in each and every question. After that, this line you can make by your side also. Okay, this is my way how I answer. Okay, after then, question number 2.3, you are the team leader. Okay, lead auditor allocated to a stage 2 occupational health and safety certification audit of a large chemical company. Okay, chemical company producing explosive for industrial use, wishing to gain ISO 45001 certification. You are a lead auditor and you are going to audit the stage 2 audit for the occupational health and safety management system certification, and the company is a chemical company who is producing explosive for industrial use. Okay, now the question asking is, you have been asked to form the audit team. Now what is the question? Question is saying that you have to form a You have to form the audit team. You have to prepare one audit team. Okay, list 5 factors you would consider when selecting individual member of that team. Now you have to, now what you have to do, you have to give 5 things that you will consider when you will selecting the team member. What are the 5 things you will see in a team when you are preparing the audit team? Okay, so you have to refer for this question ISO 19011. Which clause? Clause number 5.5.4. Okay, clause number 5.5.4. in that one you have to refer, and in that one we have discussed about the selecting the audit team. Okay, as I said, go back to my channel. Okay, playlist, in that one ISO 45001 part 4 lead auditor training. In that one I have explained the auditee and the audit team, their roles and responsibilities and their requirement, competency. Okay, audit team member competency. In that competency we have to answer this question. Now, okay, so these are the things we have to check. The overall competence of the audit team needed to achieve audit objectives, taking into account audit scope and criteria. Okay, how you will select the audit team? First of all, you have to see the audit objectives, audit criteria and the audit scope. As per that one, you have to select the audit team member. 1 point. Second point, complexity of the audit. Is the audit simple or the complex? And this one, the scenario is saying that the company is producing the chemical product, and that chemical product is an explosive chemical product. So you have to choose the team from that background. Chemical engineer, chemical safety engineer. So chemical safety engineer you have to choose, and you have to choose the team member from the process safety management team. Okay, process safety engineer or process safety people. So those team members should be there because they will identify the hazard and issues in a process safety management, because the chemical production is a very highly hazardous and a highly risky job. In that one there may be so many processes. Okay, and each process there may be some so many different kind of hazards. So you have to choose the team member as per that requirement. Okay, after that, see whether the audit is combined or joint audit. So it is a combined audit or joint audit. So you have to check that one also. Then selected audit methods. So what is the audit method you have selected? Whether you are going to do the audit offline or on site. So that you have to consider also, because during the COVID there was so many audit we were conducting offline. Okay, so that you have to consider also. Then ensuring objectivity and impartiality to avoid any conflict of interest of the audit process. Now you have the audit team member. Now there is a company. In that company, you have seen that the audit team member, one of the audit team member, your audit team member is already working in that company previously. Now in that scenario, you should avoid that team member to that audit team. Okay, otherwise what will happen? There will be negative impact will go. Okay, so in that way you have to avoid that team member. Then we have the ability of the audit team members to work and interact effectively with the representatives of the auditee and relevant interested parties. See, now you have all the company information, the company background and all those things. What type of management is there? Maybe the management is very demanding, or they are very they will ask you so many things. So you have to understand that concept of the auditee. As per that one, you have to choose your audit team member. Maybe there are some audit team member who don't speak too much. Some of the audit team member may speak too much. Some of the audit team member will speak relevant thing. Some of will not. So in that way you have to choose. Okay, that should be linked with the auditee and the audit team member. Then we have the relevant external and internal issues such as the language of the audit. Okay, this is also main important thing. Maybe the auditee, they will understand only the German, but In your audit team member, you are not including the person who is speaking German or French or Russian or any other language, local language. All your staff, they are speaking in English. Then you can't do the audit. So you have to choose the audit team member as per that requirement also. The relevant external internal issues that I have explained, and after that the type and complexity of the process to be audited, as I explained you already. Okay, complexity of the process. Yes, the process, chemical production is very complex process and very risky process. As per that one, we have to choose the competency of the audit team member. Your audit team member should be competent to audit that particular process. Okay, so in that way, in this way, you have to answer the question, and I have included so many like points here. You can choose anyone. Okay. So we're done with this question. Now let's move to the next question. Now question number 2.4, at the opening meeting of the stage 2 certification audit. Okay, at the opening meeting of the stage 2 certification audit, the health and safety manager informs you that recent internal audit has found many non-conformities. Internal audit by that company. Okay, they have found so many non-conformities, NCRs, relating to issue to the laboratory. So the health and safety manager saying that during their internal audit they have found so many non-conformities in the laboratory area. Okay, and corrective action has already been planned already. Okay, so the corrective action already been planned. So this is the information given by whom? Given by the health and safety manager, HSC manager, to the audit team members. Okay, now the manager therefore suggests that to audit the laboratory again would add no value and ask if could delete this department from the audit plan. So the manager saying that delete the laboratory department from the audit plan and do not do the audit in that department, and spend some more time the production area, as there has been an increase in minor accident recently. So he's saying that delete the like laboratory area from the audit plan and don't do the audit in that laboratory, because as per internal audit, health and safety team, they have done the audit there. And he's saying that spend some more time in the production area because the minor accidents have been increased, and he's considered that there may be serious problem. That is a request by the health and safety manager. Okay, this is the scenario. Now with the scenario, you have the question that outline 5 issues you would include in the response. Now what you have to do, you have to response to whom? Response to health and safety manager. He requested you. Now how you will respond? Now when you will respond, you have to include 5 things. Okay, now in this scenario, when you will answer this scenario, you don't have to get nervous. Some of the auditor will say yes, okay, we'll leave it. No, you can't do that. Some of the time when you will get these type of long questions, okay, in the exam, you don't have to get nervous. Okay, this scenario I gave you the example that how you have to break them. Okay, first break them in a like sentence wise and try to identify the main word. So the main word and the main question is this one. So this is the main question, and the main question is asking 5 issues. Okay, when you will answer to the manager would include in the response. When you will respond, what is the 5 issues you will include. Okay, so let's see that how you have to answer this question. So audit scope required to audit all department of organization related to the occupational health and safety management system. First of all, what you have to say that, first of all, you will say that sorry sir, or the name you can take, I can't do that because the audit scope required us to audit all department of the organization related to the occupational health and safety management system. Internal audit team may have been influenced or not impartial. Okay, so as I told you, as we discussed already, one question, impartiality and objectivity. So that question is relevant here. Okay, so we can say that internal audit team, they have been may have been influenced by some of the manager, big manager or big director or some of them, and they may have not been impartial. So they have, okay, so that you have to say. After that, maybe still you can say that maybe there may be some issues over there, and if any fresh eyes will go there and they will look those areas, we may get those issues out also. Okay, after that, planned corrective actions might not be effective enough. Whatever the corrective action they have planned, maybe that is not effective enough, and the again and again the NCRs are repeating. After that, NCI raised by internal audits cannot be as same as raised by the external audit team. Okay, so you have to mention that whatever the NCRs you have to raised as an internal audit, we will not raise those NCR. The same NCRs will not be there. Okay, that will be different one. And you can say that as you mentioned that you have already planned the corrective action, but that is not implemented. We have to see that what are the corrective actions you have planned and what are the NCRs there. So as per the risk of that NCRs, we have to implement the corrective action as soon as possible, and that should not be delayed. Okay, so in this way you have to answer the question. Now section 3 questions worth 10 marks each. So in this section number 3, you will get 3 questions and each question will be 10 marks. Okay, to answer this question you need to refer to ISO 45001 standard clauses and need to explain what will you check from that standard, okay, clause. Now let's see the scenario. Okay, the scenario is a construction company has been certified to ISO 45001 for more than a year. So there is already a ISO 45001 certificate. Okay, 2 months ago the company had a fatal accident involving someone walking in a confined space. So they got the fatal accident in a confined space. Next week is the surveillance audit and you are the sole auditor conducting the audit. Now next week there is a surveillance audit, okay, and you are the lead auditor of that audit. Okay, this is the scenario. Explain what would wish to examine by listing at least 10 issues for investigation making reference to relevant clauses of ISO 45001. Okay, question is saying that you have to explain what you will examine, what you will check by at least 10 issues. You have to write down at least 10 issues that you will check as per this scenario. Okay, why you will check and investigation, and for that one you have to give the reference for the each clause. Okay, if you will investigate that certain thing, why you will investigate and as per which clause you will investigate, because as an auditor during the audit also and during the closing meeting also you have to explain to the auditee that under which clause you are raising an NCR. If you will not give the clear idea under which clause you are raising an NCR, you cannot raise an NCR because you are doing the audit as per ISO 45001 standard clauses. If you cannot refer the clause, there won't be any NCR. You should know the clauses and you should refer how to use those clauses. Okay, now let's see that how to answer this question. Okay, first of all, leadership and commitment. The question saying that there is a accident, that fatal accident. So whenever there is an incident and accident happen, it is a complete failure of management system. So where you will get the management roles and responsibilities, leadership and commitment, you will get the clause number 5.1, leadership and commitment. Now in this one, what you will check, you have to mention in your answer that clause number 5.1 leadership and commitment. I would like to verify that, I would like to check that how company has allocated roles and responsibilities of the leadership team. Okay, to make sure that each and every leadership team they are aware about the health and safety their roles and responsibilities, and they are accountable for the roles and responsibilities. Okay, that is the clause number 5.1 point. After that, clause number 5.2, occupational health and safety policy. Why you will check occupational health and safety policy? Occupational health and safety policy should include in that company will take the legal requirements and other things to make sure that organization will remain free for any person and it will be free from the hazard, incident or accidents, and they will eliminate or reduce the occupational health and safety risk. That line should be there in the policy. Okay, so you have to check the policy also. So you can refer clause number 5.2, occupational health and safety policy. After that, clause number 5.3 also you can mention. Clause number 5.3, it's saying that organization roles, responsibilities and authorities. The person has the workers to know about his roles and responsibilities, occupational health and safety roles and responsibilities, whether those roles and responsibility has been communicated to that staff or not. So that you have to check. Okay, that you have to mention, and you can check what you will check. In this one, you will check the training record, communication record, TBT record of that worker who was involved in the incident or accident, or the other workers you can refer. Okay, this is the third point. Now the fourth point, we will refer clause number 5.4, consultation and participation of workers. Was the worker, the worker who involved in the incident, was the worker was involved in the consultation and participation process? Okay, because the consultation and participation process also is very important. Is the company doing that? Is the workers they are involving in that process or not? So that you have to identify also. Okay, and you can get the documentation, communication and consultation process document. After that, 6.1.2.1 hazard identification. So you have to identify the document risk assessment, whether the risk assessment was conducted for that organization, for that particular area where the incident or accident happened or not. So this clause you will refer for that purpose. So you will check here risk assessment document. Clause number 7.2, competence. Was the worker's competency was checked before hiring or during the work also? So competency also you have to check whether the workers are competent or not for that particular job or task. You can check certificate, training certificate, TBT, training records and certain other things you can check. After that, 7.3, awareness. Training record of occupational health and safety confined space. As per the scenario, you can see that the person was working in a confined space where he died. Okay. Now, whether confined space related training has been provided to that person or not, that record you have to check it. Now 7.4, communication, HSA related training records. So communication you will check it. HSA related, health and safety related training records and other documents, SOPs, job hazard analysis, okay, permit to work and certain other things that you have to check here for the communication. 7.2. Now the clause number 8.1.2, eliminating hazard and reducing occupational health and safety risk. So permit to work document needed to check. So in this one, clause 8.1.2, you have to check the permit to work document. Was the permit to work issued to that area before the work? Who signed the permit to work? Who issued the permit to work? Who received the permit to work? Okay, so those things you have to check. After that, 8.2, clause number 8.2, emergency procedure and emergency preparedness and response. Do the company have emergency preparedness and plan in place? Does everyone know how to use that? Do the company has emergency response team member? Okay, are they trained or not? So these are the things you have to check in this clause number 8.2. Okay, you can refer other clauses also. Clause number 9 also you can refer. Clause number 10 also you can refer. There are so many things you can refer in this clause. Clause number 4 to clause number 10, all the clauses you can refer for this scenario. Okay, because each and every clause somewhere it is connected with this scenario. Okay, so I hope you understood that how you have to answer the question. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Our next question is 3.2, taking into account, the scenario is taking into account the requirements of clause 10.2, okay, clause number 10.2 from the ISO 45001 describe in terms of a sequence or illustrate using a diagram, okay. You can describe in terms of sequence or you can use a diagram, okay, it's up to you. The corrective action process is starting from a non-conformance being raised by an auditor through to close out of the finding, okay. So you have to identify the sequence or the diagram. Corrective action process is starting from a non-conformance being raised by the auditor. So auditor raised a NCR, from there till closing out the finding, okay. You are taking the corrective action and you are closing out that point. Till then what you will do, so all these things step by step, or the diagram you can prepare. First you will raise the NCR, you will record the NCR, after then you will allocate the budget, after then you can allocate the team member who is responsible for that one, blah 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 blah, up till the down that will come, okay. Then identify whether the auditee or auditor is responsible for each element. So you have to identify that whether the auditee or auditor who is responsible for each element of the process. There will be certain processes, okay, and you have to identify that who will be responsible for that one, and identify at what point corrective action process decision need to be taken and by whom, okay, and corrective action who will take it, okay, and when will take it. So all these things you have to include in your answer. So let's see that how we have to answer. So react in a timely manner to the incident or non-conformity and as applicable. So you have to, clause number 10.2, it's saying that you have to react in a timely manner, okay. First of all you have to react in a timely manner or non-conformity for the incident or non-conformity as applicable. First of all, take action to control and correct it. You have to take the action to control and correct it, okay. Then deals with the consequences. You have to deal with the consequences. This is the clause saying that. Then you have to evaluate with the participation of workers and the involvement of the other relevant interested parties and need for the corrective actions to eliminate the root causes, okay, of the incident or non-conformity in order that does not reoccur or occur elsewhere. By how you will identify this one? First of all, you have to investigating the incident or reviewing the non-conformity. You have to review that one. Determining the clauses of the incident or non-conformity. Then determining if similar incidents have occurred, if non-conformity exists, or if they could potentially occur. Then you have to review existing assessments of occupational health and safety management system risk and other risk as appropriate. Now determine and implement an actions needed, including corrective actions in accordance with the hierarchy of controls and the management of change. Then you have to assess the occupational health and safety risk that relate to the new and changed hazards prior to the taking action, okay. So these are the things are mentioned in the clause number 10.2, okay. After that, it's saying that review the effectiveness of any action taken, including corrective action. Then make changes to the occupational health and safety management system. If necessary, corrective actions shall be appropriate to the effects and potential effects of the accidents. Then organization shall retain documented information as evidence. You have to retain it. Then action, corrective action, and including that effectiveness, okay. So these are the things mentioned in the clause number 10.2, which is asked in this question. But now, did you understand that how to answer the question? I think no, okay. Now let me tell you how to answer the question. First of all, what you have to do, you have seen that the auditor raised the NCR, okay. First you have to write down point number 1. NCR has been raised by the auditor this date first. Second step what you will do, auditor raised NCR that included in the NCR logbook. You have to put that NCR in the NCR logbook. This is your second step. NCR discussed with the team member. This is your third step. NCR discussed with the third step, and corrective action has been agreed. Sorry, corrective action has been agreed. Just a minute. Corrective action has been agreed, and team member has been allocated for the different task. Okay, this is your third step. After that, you have to make one chart where you have to write down the NCR. Okay, let's say that this is the NCR, and after that, team allocated for this one, for the let's say that production area team that is allocated that one, when they will do it, who will do it, and how they will do it. Okay, after that, the time frame of that corrective action implementation, that is the time frame you have to put it there. Fourth step, corrective action implemented and NCR close, finding clause. Okay, fifth step, the same NCR, same clause that will be verified during the next internal audit. Okay, fifth step. Sixth step, after the next internal audit, you will mention next internal audit has been conducted and it is found that the corrective actions are effective and there is no any open or reoccurrence of that same issues there, and hence audit NCR raised during the external audit has been closed and verified. By whom? By health and safety manager or by the director, signed and dated. So this is the complete process of this scenario. Okay, in this way you have to answer the question. Okay, now next question, question number 3.3. A requirements of ISO 45001 5.1 is the top management demonstrates leadership in support of occupational health and safety management system. So requirements of ISO clause number 5.1, it is saying that top management demonstrate leadership in support to the occupational health and safety management system. It is the clause number 5.1. Now prepare a checklist of at least 10 checkpoints, okay, which would help you. Now in this one you have to prepare 10 checkpoints. You have to prepare one checklist, okay, that would help you when interviewing the head of an airline service company to determine whether the organization conforms to these requirements. Okay, to determine that organization is following the ISO 45001 clause 5.1, top management leadership support in the occupational health and management system. So you have to identify 10 points, 10 checkpoints that you have to question to the direct or head of the department, airline head of the department. Now when you are preparing these 10 points, these 10 points should be in a question way. Okay, not a statement, that should be in a question way. Okay, and you have to, when you are answering that question, you have to state the applicable clauses also. Okay, under which clause you are asking that question, you have to mention that one also. Okay, now let's see the answer. Our first one, it's saying that 4.2, understanding the needs and expectation of workers and other interested parties. So this is the requirements in ISO clause 4.2 to identify the needs and expectation of interested parties and the workers. So how you will ask this question, how you will write this thing in an exam? You have to write clause number 4.2, okay, space, are you did you identify, then you have to ask, did you identify workers needs, workers and interested parties needs and expectations. Okay, in that way you have to ask the question. Okay, and you have to answer in that way. Clause number 5.1, leadership and commitment. Okay, this is the clause number 5. You have to ask how you are demonstrating, how your company is demonstrating leadership and commitment to the company according to ISO 45001. So this is the second question. Question number 3 that you will ask, point 3, 5.2, occupational health and safety policy. You will ask, do you have any occupational health and safety policy for this company? Is it implemented? Is it communicated to the team members? That you have to ask. 5.3 clause number, organization roles, responsibilities and authorities. that is talking in 5.3. Now how you will ask this question to the director head? You will ask this question: have we allocated the roles, health and safety roles and responsibilities to the different team member at different stages, and have we communicated those roles and responsibilities to the team members or not? So in this way you will ask the question. Question number 5.4, consultation and participation of workers. Do the workers involved in a consultation or participation process? Okay, this is your next question. So 5 points done. Okay, so in this way you have to ask the question. Okay, so those 5 points I already made. So these next 5 points you have to make it for other one. So when you are asking the question, you can refer any clauses for the head of the department, because it is all responsibilities of the head of the departments to make sure that all the clauses are followed by each and every team member, and you can ask in that way, okay, to the head of the department. Now section 4. In this section 4, 3 questions will be there, okay, and 10 marks for each question will be there, and maximum 30 marks will be there. Okay, so you have to complete the non-conformity report template. Okay, there will be 2 as per scenario. There will be 2. Either you have to identify as a non-conformity NCR, either you will say it is not a NCR. It is up to you. You have to use your knowledge which you gain through the audit, and that knowledge you have to apply here. Okay, so marking a scheme for a non-conformity, okay, for marking a scheme for, so marking a scheme for non-conformity, for correctly identifying this scenario as a non-conformity, you will get the 2 marks. Okay, suppose there is a, I will explain you how the questions will be there and how you have to identify. Okay, let me inform you that how you will get the questions. Okay, for a clear descriptions of the non-conformity you will get the 3 marks, and for correctly quoting relevant evidence. Okay, questions will ask you some evidence and correctly you are using that evidence, you will get 3 marks. After then, for correctly identifying the relevant clause, ISO 45001 requirement, then you will get 1 mark. After then, overall clarity of the non-conformity report, you will get 1 marks. Okay, so this is the marking criteria, how you will get the marks if you will identify as a non-conformity. Okay, note, if you raise a non-conformity report when there is a no non-conformity, 0 marks will be awarded. Okay, so it's saying that if you raise a non-conformity but as per scenario there is no non-conformity, then you will get the 0 marks. Okay, for that one. After then, if you raise it is a non-conformity, then you have to complete the audit investigation template and clearly stating. You have to clearly say that your reason for thinking there is not at sufficient evidence to report your findings as a non-conformity. Okay, so then you will say that why it is no non-conformity or why this is a non-conformity. You have to clearly state the evidence. Okay, how you would investigate to determine the non-conformity or non-conformity, conformity or non-conformity, how you will determine and how you will investigate, that you have to answer also in the exam. After that, including audit trails, you would follow in specific examples of audit evidence you would seek, and for what purpose you will get that evidence, why you are asking that evidence, what is the purpose of asking that evidence, what you want to verify, what you want to check, so that you have to mention also. Okay, after then, note, if you complete the audit investigation template for a situation where there is evidence that it is that a non-conformity exists. Okay, suppose there is a NCR but you said that it is not an NCR, then you will get maximum 7 marks. Okay, you will get maximum 7 marks. Why? Providing a valid reason why there is insufficient evidence of non-conformity, 2 marks, and providing the relevant audit trails, what you want to check. So these 7 marks you will get it. Okay, I hope you understood how the questions will be there and how you have to answer. Okay. Now, our first question, okay, the audit situation 1, 4.1. It is saying that you are in a large old manor house that is used by an organization as their national corporate center for training. Okay, they are using a national corporate center for training. The house has a kitchen. The house has a kitchen that prepares the meals for the training delegates. Okay, kitchen that prepare the meal for the training people, the people who's come for the training. In the kitchen area, you notice that a clear purple colored fluid is stored on a shelf alongside food items in an unmarked 5-liter plastic container. Okay, so this is the scenario. After then, you ask the kitchen supervisor what the liquid is and are told, and the supervisor told you that it is a chemical for degreasing the drains because they regularly block. So it is the chemical they are using for degrease the block drainage because that will get regularly clogged. Okay, block. When you ask why it is kept on the food shelf, supervisor told you that it is not normally kept there, but it is not a problem as everyone knows what it is used for. Okay, so this is the statement given by the supervisor. Okay, so till here it is a separate paragraph. Okay, you have to divide the whole question, whole scenario in a different paragraph, then you will understand. Otherwise this long paragraph, then you have to answer, you may not get the clear picture of the question and the scenario. Okay, that's why I have divided in a different section. Okay, it will be easy for you. After then, you interview several members of the kitchen staff and their replies do not convince you that they do know what it is for and how to use it. Okay, so now supervisor said everyone know how to use it and what is the purpose, but when you interview so many people, you find out that there are so many people they don't know how to use it and what it is for. Okay, the training records in the kitchen show that temporary workers are employed in the kitchen for only few days at a time on a regular basis. Okay, the supervisor states that there are no written instructions or assessment of risk relating to the use of the degreasing fluid as everyone knows how to use it. That is the statement of supervisor. You know that using chemicals or other hazardous substance at work can put people's health at risk. Okay, this is your thinking as an auditor, lead auditor. Okay, and that the law requires employers to control exposure to hazardous substance to prevent ill health. Clear? So this is the whole scenario. Okay, you got the scenario in this one, how the picture was created, so you know already. Okay, now your task will start. Now you have to identify what you will do, whether you will raise it is a NCR or not a NCR, conformity, non-conformity or no non-conformity. What you will do, think it. Okay, now I'm answering you, but what you can do, you can pause the video and you can think by your side. Okay, it is a NCR. Okay, non-conformity. Now how to identify whether the particular thing is a non-conformity or not? Very clear thing. Okay, very clearly you have to check few things. If scenario saying that it is a law requirement but the law it's not been followed, clear non-conformity. Okay, legal requirements not been followed, clear non-conformity. Second thing, the thing information is mentioned in the document occupational health and safety management system, but that is not been followed, clearly non-conformity. Third, company not following the ISO 45001 clause, particular clause, clearly non-conformity. So these three scenarios will clearly tell you that whether it is non-conformity or not. So I told you that how to identify the non-conformity. Okay, so it is a non-conformity. So let's answer. So we have to fill the template. You will get two templates, non-conformity and no non-conformity. So you have to fill the template of non-conformity. First of all, if you think there is a sufficient evidence to report your findings as a non-conformity, okay, then complete the non-conformity report on the following page. So we have to use the non-conformity page. Complete the audit investigation template. We have to complete the audit investigation template whenever there is a NCR. Okay, so this is an NCR. In this scenario, we have to use the audit investigation template. For correctly identifying the scenario as a non-conformity, 2 marks. So what you say, it is an NCR or not? Yes, yes, it is an NCR. So now you got the 2 marks easily. It's an easy way. Okay, it is an NCR. Now the second question is saying that description of the non-conformity. Now you have to describe why it is non-conformity as per your information. So I have collected some information from the scenario. Now the first one, it is the legal requirement. Legal requirement was not followed, which requires employees to control exposure to hazardous and substance to prevent ill health, and risk and hazard related to the degreasing chemical was not controlled. Okay, and that was not been identified as a risk assessment in a risk assessment. Okay, fluid was stored on a shelf alongside food items. Okay, it is one of the issue also. It was with the food items, which may cause cross contamination and staff may get chemical poisoning. Okay, so the chemical was kept without any label, and it could be acid or other hazardous chemical. Okay, and chemical poisoning can happen because the chemical was kept alongside the food. With the food it was kept. So what could happen? Chemical may go to the food items and chemical poisoning can happen. Okay, this is the second issue. The third one, as per supervisor statement, supervisor saying that there was no written instruction or assessment of risk relating to the use of the degreasing fluid, as everyone knows how to use it. Okay, there is the third issue. There is no written documents, no written procedure. So that's why it is an NCR. The fourth one, I can give you also one more point. As per supervisor statement, everyone knows, but when you interviewed, you find out that there are so many staff who don't know that how to use it and what is it for. Okay, what it is for. So they don't know the use and where they have to use it. So this is the issue. Okay, so we got the 5 marks, 3 for here and 2 from here. Now the next, relevant evidence. Now you have to give the relevant evidence for the NCR. Why you are raising the NCR? What is the evidence you have? Now the evidence you have: legal requirements, legal register you can refer. Okay, company may have the legal register. In the legal register they may have mentioned. After then, second, statement provided by the supervisor. Okay, the statement, whichever statement is provided by the supervisor, that you can use as a evidence. Okay. After then, third, auditor observed that chemical was kept. Your observation during the audit, you observed that chemical was kept alongside the food item, which can cause chemical poisoning. The fourth one, you can say that your interview with the staff who don't know that about the chemical and how to use it and what are the risks and the issues with the chemical. So these are the 4 points you can use it. So these are the relevant evidence where you will get maximum 3 marks. Okay. Now question number, the last one, ISO 45000 clause and requirements. In this one, ISO 45 2018 clause, you have to identify which clause you are referring to raise an NCR for this question. You are raising an NCR, so definitely you have to give the NCR clause, ISO clause to the auditee, that as per which clause you are raising an NCR. Okay. So in this one, we can use the clause number 6.1.2.1 hazard identification, because the hazard was not identified for the chemical. 6.1.3 determination of legal requirements and other requirements which is not identified, not followed. And 7.2 documented information. So the document related to the chemical, how to use it, process and procedures was not available. Okay, so now we have clearly identified the clauses, and we have clearly identified and clearly informed that how we have to use it and what we have to use it. So we finish this question, and this way you have to answer the question. Okay, for clause requirement, under which clause you will raise the NCR, that I have informed you here, and it is a 2-mark question. Okay, in this way you will get the 2 marks. Okay. Now, question number 4.2. Question number 4.2 is saying that audit section 2 if you think there is sufficient evidence to report your finding as a non-conformity, you have to complete the NCR audit template. If it is no non-conformity, then you have to complete the audit investigation template. Okay. Now the scenario is when having lunch in the canteen during an audit in a computer manufacturer company. Okay, you see a sign next to a notice board which states that please place safety suggestions in the box below, but the box was missing, box was not there. This is the scenario. Okay, this is your observation, you observe that one. Now on resuming the audit, when you start the audit, you ask about the missing box which was not there at the canteen, and you have been told that the system has been changed and the safety suggestions are now invited by email to the occupational health and safety manager. Okay, now so safety suggestions, the staff, they are sending through the email to the OHS manager. When you interview the OHS manager, after that you ask about the emails and are told that only 2 have been received in the past 6 months. One was related to the loose tiles at the factory entrance, and the other related to the people smoking outside the front door. The manager says that she forwarded the emails to the maintenance department manager with a copy sent to the originator. Okay. Now, when questioned about the effectiveness of the new practice, the manager stated that the box was removed because many people never visited the canteen. She added that emails were introduced to encourage more suggestions and meet the consultation requirements of the occupational health and safety management system. Now, what do you say? It is an NCR or not an NCR? You can think, pause the video, and you can, after that, you can resume the video. So it is not an NCR. Why it is not an NCR? In this one, the scenario is there. Okay, the main issue is the suggestion system, safety suggestion system. Safety box was placed earlier in the canteen, but now it is not there, but the notice is there. System has been changed from notice box to the emails. Okay, now you have the two things, old system and the new system. Now when you remove the old system, you implement the new system. Now what you have to do, you have to compare the old system with the new system. When you will compare, you have to check the effectiveness of the new system, whether it is effective compared to old system or not. But to compare that one, you don't have the clear picture in this one. You don't have all the evidence in this one. So that's why it is not an NCR, because she added the emails were introduced to encourage suggestion and meet the consultation requirements of occupational health and safety management system. But in this scenario, you didn't get any comparison between old and new system. So you can't identify that, and you cannot raise an NCR that without that one, whether the old system is effective or not, whether the new system is effective or not. So you cannot identify that one. So first of all, you have to go get that one, then you can identify. So that's why that we don't have here, that information we don't have here in this scenario. That's why it is not an NCR. Okay, clear? Now let's move to the next slide and how we have to answer. It is not an NCR, so we will use second part, investigation, audit investigation. Reason why there is not at sufficient evidence for reporting non-conformity. So it is a 2-mark question. It is saying that why there is not at sufficient evidence. Why are you thinking that there is not at sufficient evidence? So you can raise an NCR, that you have to mention here. Okay. So first, in order to check the issues raised by the staff, the auditor didn't receive the emails. So auditor didn't get any emails which sent by the staff. Okay. Then the auditor did not find any evidence of corrective action taken by the auditee. Okay. The auditee, the health and safety manager, already got the suggestion from the staff, but whether the corrective action has been taken or not, you don't have any idea on that one scenario. Then we have the OHS manager informed the auditor that emails were introduced for better performance. Okay, that is the statement. However, the auditor did not find any evidence to verify the effectiveness of the revised system. But auditor couldn't verify that the revised system is effective or not. Okay, so that's why there is no clear evidence or enough evidence to say that it is an NCR. So this way we have to answer this question. Okay, now 4 audit trails you would follow, including evidence sought, evidence you need, and purpose, why you need that evidence. Okay, maximum 2 marks for each audit trail. Okay, so it is a 8 marks. Clear? Now 4 example you have to give, evidence sought and purpose, and every example you will get 2 marks. So total 8, and 8 marks this one, and this is the 2 marks, so total 10 marks. So the email sent by the staff to verify the issues, what you will get, what evidence you need the emails. Why you need the emails? You need the emails to verify the issues which was reported by the staff. Okay, first one. Now the second one, corrective action report, to make sure that the corrective actions has been taken. You have to ask the corrective action report from the manager or just manager. Why you need to ask? To make sure that corrective action has been taken and the suggestions given by the staff has been taken. Okay. Third one, safety suggestions logbook, to make sure the issues has been documented. Now the staff, they are sending through the email the suggestions and the safety related issues, but are we documented them somewhere? Do we have the register or the logbook to make sure that when it was identified, when it was issue, who raised the issue, and when we take the corrective action, who took the corrective action, whether it is closed or open, if it is open, when it is going to close, if it is closed, when it was closed, that register, it is there or not, that process is there or not, that you have to ask. The fourth one, comparison of the new and old system to check the effectiveness. The fourth one, you have to ask the comparison. Okay, the data comparison, the old system data comparison and the new system comparison. Okay, the data you have to get and the comparison you have to get it, to make sure that old system compared to old system, new system is more effective. Okay, so in this way you have to ask. I hope you understood how we have to answer if it is not an NCR. Okay, if it is not an NCR, in this way you have to answer the question. Now the next one, audit situation 3, third situation. Okay, we already done with the one NCR, and the second one not an NCR. Now let's go to the next one. During your audit of metal fabrication company, you review the incident reporting records and note that there were several incidents reported where workers had entered a restricted area segregated by temporary barriers, where radiography work was being carried out on some welded fabrication. Okay, the records stated that the workers were unaware that this situation activity was taking place. Okay, first situation. This is your observation. Now you ask a representative of top management how the workers are informed of occupational health and safety management issues relevant to their safety. She replies that all occupational health and safety issues are addressed in a weekly TBT. These talks are held every Monday morning and all members of the staff must attend. Okay, you ask to see the agenda for these talks, and the examples you see cover the typical topics you would expect, including the arrangements for the radiography. Then you ask how the organization ensure all members of the staff attend and are told that it is necessary for any records to be kept, as it has been standard practice for many years for all staff to attend. She replied to you. Okay. Now, when you asked, they ensure those members of the staff who are unable to attend the TBT because of other duties. If some of the staff, they are not able to attend the TBT because of other duties or illness or any holidays or etc. She states that we do not have any formal arrangements, but we expect area manager to update anyone who missed a talk when they return to work. Okay. So what you say, NCR or not an NCR? So again, pause the video and think. Now I'm going to answer. It is a NCR, non-conformity. Okay, I will let you know why it is non-conformity. In this scenario, you can see that there are so many incidents. Okay, several incidents reported that the people, they are entered in a radiography area. Okay, radiography area where we have the temporary barriers. So first of all, the radiography area, very high risk area, and the second thing, the control measures. What is the control measure here? Control measure is the temporary barrier. The temporary barrier control measures are not effective. That's why the people, they are crossing the area. One issue. Okay, the control measure is not effective. That's why the incident or accidents, they are repeating. So one reason why it is NCR. The second reason, there are so many staff who cannot attend the TBD or the training because of duties, illness or holidays. There is no any process that to make sure that they will attend the training also. Maybe these are the staff who's crossing the area. We don't know. Okay, so that's why this is the second way. That's why I will say that it is an NCR. Okay, so let's start how we have to answer. So for correctly identifying the scenario as a non-conformity, you will get 2 marks. So yes, it is an NCR. Okay, then describe the non-conformity. What is the description of the non-conformity? Why you will say it is an NCR? Okay, so as I informed you, there were several incidents reported where workers had entered a restricted area segregated by temporary barriers, where radiography work was being carried out, which shows that control measures were not effective. That's why it is a NCR. First one. The second one, the records stated that the workers were unaware that radiography welding activity was taking place. It means they were not being informed, they were not being trained. So the training was not done. The third one, process was not available for the staff who will miss the training due to sickness, absence or any holiday or certain other things. There is no process to make sure that these staffs also will get the training. So these are the 3 things. That's why it is a non-conformity. Okay. Now the fourth one, relevant evidence. Now what is the evidence you will give to support your NCR? First, process was not available. If you will ask that SOP, standard operating process, was not available for the staff who were not able to attend the training due to absence, illness or certain other things. The second thing is standard incident reporting records, which shows that the corrective action was not effective and the same incident were repeated. Okay. Training records were not maintained. Training records also, as per a statement of the HR, occupational health and safety manager, she stated that they are not maintaining the training records for the staff. Okay, so these are the 3 evidence that you can refer. Now ISO 45001 clause and requirements. Now you have to identify the clause. Under which clause you are going to report this NCR and why. So we have the clause number 6.1.2.2, assessment of occupational health and safety management system, risk and others to risk to the occupational health and management system. The organization shall establish, implement and maintain a process. So that process was not implemented. The second one, 6.1.4, planning action, effective control measures were not implemented. The control measure is there, temporary barrier, but that was not effective. Third one, clause number 7.5, documented information. So the training record was not maintained, not available. Okay, so we're done with this. So in this way you have to identify the question. In the exam you will get always I have done so many lead auditor training and I have attended the training also and done the exam. What I have observed that always, correct me if I'm wrong, so many times what I have got, whatever the training I have attended or the exam I have attended, I always got 2 NCR and 1 non-NCR. Okay, maybe you will get it also in that way. So in this way you will get your questions. Now we have done with our training. Thank you so much. I hope you like the video and the information which I have shared with you. And in this way, if you will follow the information, you will easily clear your exam. Okay, so no need to worry, keep calm and follow the same instruction which I have given you, and in that way you have to answer. And the main thing is you have to manage the time. Time management is very important during the exam, because you will not get too much what you call time. Most of your time you will consume to refer the ISO standard. You will keep turning the page. You will keep turning the pages. Okay, you will find the clauses and you will keep turning. That will consume your time. So that you have to avoid it. So before that one, memorize the clauses. Which clause you will get? What are the things? Okay. So thank you so much for your time and patience. Have a good day. See you on the next video. Okay. Bye.